All right, everybody. So if you're here, that means that you've seen Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness. And if you haven't, shame on you. No one likes somebody else who goes to the end of the book just reads the end of it. Snape kills Dumbledore. That's not cool to tell people anymore. This is 2022, baby. So anyway, I just want to throw out there, before we say anything about the rest of this movie, I love me some Fantastic Four, dog. I've literally been wearing this shirt all day. I was hoping that I would get the same energy from WrestleMania when I was wearing my Cody Rhodes shirt, and there he comes out to beat the shit out of Seth Rollins, and here I am wearing my Fantastic Four shirt all day because I just had the feeling that this is where they were going to bring in at least one of the Fantastic Four, and Reed Richards was in this movie. So, we'll start from the beginning. Shawn McGrath. Not a lot of people know who that character is. Anyone who played Marvel Quest for the Gems back on the arcade knows that he's awesome. It's awesome. Looks so great in this movie. I mean, CGI has definitely made so many leaps and bounds and advancements. It looked awesome. Like, I was just in awe the whole time that monstrosity was on screen. And then the way that Doctor Strange killed it was like, whoa. It definitely let me know that this was not going to be a regular run-of-the-mill MCU movie. Because, yeah, that was pretty gnarly, man. He throws the thing into its eye and literally pulls the eye socket out and kills that dude. Like, come on. It was great. And it definitely, I don't know, I feel like it wasn't hammered home enough recently that Doctor Strange just kind of does what he wants to now because Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme. And that's just a thing that, people in the MCU, have going on. I was talking with some buddies afterwards in the lobby, and they were like, wait a minute, since when is Wong the Sorcerer Supreme? I'm like, well, they talked about it in No Way Home. There was a whole thing about how, like, Doctor Strange was dead for 5 years. Oh, I forgot about that. So, yeah, that's definitely a point that's hit on several times, which I thought was great. Then we got to talk about the fact that the whole multiverse thing, they definitely have hit the ground running with this. With the multiple, everybody else in the multiple universes. Now, they go to universe 838, I believe it was. I just saw this movie. I came home, recorded the other video, definitely took a wicked pee, and I am ready to talk about some Doctor Strange 2, because let me tell you, it was beyond weird. It was strange. That was for my buddy Wes. So, America Chavez, great character. She definitely, they're doing a good job at pulling in and bringing in younger heroes to set up for future movies. They're definitely trying to move away from the traditional Marvel universe for their characters, and I would like to see where they're going with that. I feel like they're kind of setting up for a Young Avengers in the future, but I don't know. But let's talk about Scarlet Witch being the villain, because I guess Brian said that he saw that coming from a mile away. I saw Reed Richards showing up in this movie from a mile away, but I did not see Scarlet Witch actually being the bad guy. I figured that after WandaVision and having her little, arc of redemption, they were going to go a completely different way with their character, and they did not. There was some crazy things in there, like when she pulls herself through the reflection in the shield, or no, it was a gong. That was definitely like some Sam Raimi Deadite movements going on there, and I loved it. There was so much like actual horror elements to this movie that it really did. Like, at first I was like, what? Sam Raimi did Darkman and Darkman 2 and Darkman 3. Those were superhero movies. Now, he did Spider-Man 1, 2. Well, Spider-Man 1 and 2. 3 wasn't that great. Sam Raimi did an excellent job with this flick. And I will say that. There was a lot of, Bruce Campbell's cameo in it was fantastic as the pizza vendor. And then at the end, it's finished. That was great. All of that was fantastic. I loved everything about this movie. I definitely really enjoyed the whole Black Bolt can blow you away with just his voice. With what mouth? You know, and he blows out his brains because his voice has nowhere else to travel. That was crazy. Like, Wanda showing up and killing the Illuminati. First of all, the Illuminati being in this movie. I need to back up. So, when Rachel McAdams was like, yeah, I work for the Baxter Foundation, I was like, yeah. And then they're like, the Illuminati, and my brother looks over at me and he goes, so are we going to get like some Iron Man action? I'm like, no, we're getting some Reed Richards. And it was great. You know, I was the first person to cheer in the theater. Like, people cheered and clapped, but I was like, yeah! You know, if you've ever been to a wrestling event with me, you know that I get loud sometimes. And that was one of those sometimes. I think Rachel got a little mad at me when I did that. But I was just so absolutely excited for that whole scene in the movie. And then Scarlet Witch comes in and massacres everybody real quick. I do want to point out, though, that they just completely, like, forgot about Baron Mordo's whole story arc from the first movie, where his thing was, you know, he wanted to like make less wizards, and there's like a whole like Harry Potter-esque wizarding school that Wong is running. So like, what's he doing? Is that going to be a future movie? Who knows? That was great. My apologies. It is late for me. Captain Peggy Carter. Seeing her in live action was fantastic. I definitely chuckled when I can do this all day. That was great. Everything about that was good. You know, Captain Marvel, that was neat. I definitely feel like she had the least cool death. Like, the statue of her falling over on herself was just kind of lame. But at that point in time, like, you just had Mr. Fantastic turn into noodles and then his brain explode. Like, that was gory as hell. That was great. You know, you had two superheroes' brain explodes on screen. Oh my God, Patrick Stewart as Professor X in this. He looked like the cartoon Professor X. He had the green jacket and everything, and he had the yellow, you know, Shi'ar alien hover chair. That was perfect. Thank you, Sam Raimi, for this excellent movie, dude. I liked how they used the multiverse thing. You know, they had the point out where it was the traffic lights. Red means go, green means stop. You know, they wanted to do some different things, and I feel like they really did make this a great movie. You know, like I said in my non-spoiler review, this is not Spider-Man No Way Home. You know, don't try to stack it up, whatever. But this was definitely the movie to follow Spider-Man No Way Home. It was some good stuff to me. You know, like, I really enjoyed the monsters in it. Were awesome. Wanda coming through and actually being like an actual like bad guy. Like in WandaVision, it was kind of one of those things where it was like, is Wanda really the bad guy? And then, oh no, it was Agatha all along. And then Wanda kind of had a redemption, and then like, bam, no, Scarlet Witch is real, sucker. And she's bad, and she does what she want to do. She's Dennis Rodman in the 90s. She's going through multiverses. She's you know, spirit walking. She's punching holes and shit. You know, she's killing the entire Illuminati minus Iron Man. I guess they switched out Iron Man for Captain Marvel, but still, it was awesome. Namor wasn't there either. But we got Captain Peggy Carter in real action. You know, even though they all died awfully, it was some great stuff to be seen. Now, as far as Doctor Strange himself goes, I feel like he had a good arc. I kind of feel like they hit too much on, and I'm sorry because I can't remember her name, but like I said, and I've yawned twice, you know that it's kind of late for me, but Rachel McAdams' character. I feel like they hit on her too hard just for them to just completely ignore her going forward, because in that second after credit scene, like there's the first after credit scene where Doctor Strange is walking down the street and then he drops to his knees and all of a sudden his third eye opens. So he's like the evil Doctor Strange, which was not from What If. I really feel like they wanted you to believe leading up to this movie the evil Doctor Strange was the one from What If, and I feel like that would have been a whole lot cooler and had a whole lot more gravity to it if in fact he was the villain of this movie. But then, bam, no, Scarlet Witch. So then he's got the three eyes now, so what does that even mean? And then he's not the Sorcerer Supreme, so he can just go off and have his own adventures. It does not matter. And then Clea shows up. I actually had the people that I went with who were supposed to be, you know, big nerds be like, are we supposed to know who that is? And I'm like, yes, you swine. Have some fucking culture. It's Clea. It's Doctor Strange's girlfriend. Like, actual girlfriend. Leave the Notebook lady alone. So it was pretty cool to see that actually happen, you know, in real time. Like, I can't wait to see what they do with it. I'm still kind of irritated that we don't have Mephisto in the MCU, especially when the whole premise of the last movie was kind of taken from a Mephisto story. Spider-Man No Way Home. Where's Mephisto? The whole time I was watching WandaVision, I was like, we get Mephisto? Mephisto, Mephisto. And just so I say it one more time, I'm going to say Mephisto. You know, just to kind of get that out of my system. But I'm giving Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness a good solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. And I do not rate things that nicely. So 4.5 out of 5 coming from me. That's pretty generous for a movie that people are already crapping on. But I loved it. The monsters were awesome. I got to see some things in live action that up to this point have only been comic book panels. I felt like the new characters were good. The old characters were great. Everything was excellent except for the whole Mordo. You know, in the alternate universe, he's still a dick. And I think that was cool, but I kind of feel like they should have touched a little bit more on the fact that he's trying to eradicate the wizarding world of Harry Potter. So, that being said, this has been my spoiler review. If there's anything that you want to talk about more, come and visit us on the domain at gpce.com. I guess you could leave some comments here on the YouTube, but try to remember that some people are going to stumble onto this video on accident and may not have seen this movie. So, don't talk about it, don't spoil it for people, and I will see you next time when we talk about Thor, Love and Thunder.